All right, I don't care if nobody's here. That's fine. I said I'm gonna come back and do this movie review, like I said, and I'm gonna stick to my word. Just catch it on a replay. It's no big deal. Trust me. I'm not offended. Let's go to Druski first. Let's do Druski first. I'll get into the movie review later. Let's go to Druski, another one. He just banging them out. He's just banging them out. This is Druski, the old head that never grew up or matured. This is too fucking funny because we know too many old heads. This is hip hop. Let's go.
I raise all these niggas. I raise all these niggas. I raise these niggas. The young nigga look up to me, man. 10 generations of the hood, man. Show love to your hood, man. Y'all nigga come back and feed the streets. Be a big homer to your hood, man. You nigga love me out here. I be that Pyro 1560 bloodhound.
He said Pyro 1560 bloodhound.
I'm finna start this streaming shit. Yeah, I'm finna start getting on live mode. Yeah. Bro, you just know how this shit be, bro. Like, I don't ask nobody for shit, dog. I appreciate the unicorn. Y'all send a galaxy. Y'all send a galaxy in the chat.
Same apartment right here with little.
Same shit. That same spot. Right here. I was with their daddy. I was with their daddy around that time.
They don't even know what happened.
Nigga about this tall, man.
So let's talk about them allegations. Your lawyer be deported.
No. I was facing 40. It was a probation violation. What I went when I raised these folk, man. Hell yeah! I raised these niggas. She want me to touch up on her butt. Really lost, she tapped my name. I done it all the bitches.
First beating and I drunk a Sunny D. Started lurking with my ski, it was 1 degree. Glock 23 on me, I just wanna be.
Yeah, what I just did. What I just did, man. I done came down here about everybody. I done came down here, yeah.
This is so stupid.
We come in peace, Allah Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
No violence, we come in peace. Brotherhood. Family. Allah Akbar. We come in peace.
Breaking news. 5 armed gunmen in head wraps are on the loose in Atlanta for attempted robbery. They are considered armed and dangerous, one of which has a history of murder. The situation remains unclear. Charleston Porter, age 57, caught committing crimes with underage teenagers, now facing several pending charges.
Yo, that's too funny. All right, let me get to this is gonna be real quick. I should have just made a video and not even did a live because for whatever, but I'm here. Okay, Masters of the Universe. I didn't take notes, so everything I'm going off is memory. Some parts I'm gonna forget, and if you were there, if you went to go see it, and fill in the blanks for me. All right, so once again, the first act, when Adam is narrating Eternia at its high point, and it's the first act is peak, and then when Skeletor invades Eternia, and then Flash Gordon. I hear the electric guitars. I'm like, oh, that's Brian May. It gives me Flash Gordon vibes. People forget Flash Gordon bombed horribly at the theaters, and it's become a cult classic. It's beyond a cult classic. Like, it's standard sci-fi camp. Like, it's the poster board for, if you're gonna do sci-fi camp, Flash Gordon is the blueprint. And it gave me Flash Gordon vibes. I mean, the invasion, Skeletor, when they invade Eternia, and like I said, the fight scene between Duncan, played by Idris in Man at Arms, versus Trapjaw, that shit went so hard. Oh, I mean, and then whoever did the sound design, the sound production, the sound engineers, I mean, the laser blast, it sounded heavy. When their bodies were hitting the concrete walls, it just, the thud, and then the theater, shit just reverberated. You could feel it in your chest. I'm like, God damn. This shit hits like a subwoofer. Whoever the sound engineer was for this movie deserves a pay raise, deserves an Oscar nomination. Because I'm telling you, that shit thumped. like a 12-inch woofer, a subwoofer by JV by a JL Audio. I mean, just the sound, and then Jared Leto. God bless Jared Leto. He catches so much hell because he's such a divisive actor. You're either gonna love Jared Leto or you're gonna hate him. I hate that he gets so much hate. Jared Leto is one of the best method actors that we of any generation. He immerses himself in whatever role he's in, and he killed it as Skeletor. I mean, he had the old English drawl, just like how the old English would talk, such dribble and roll, and I don't care, and such a reconnection. I mean, I'm just like, what? I could do a whole Skeletor movie with Jared Leto. And then the jokes. Now the problem with there was too many jokes. There was jokes about Ram Man, Ram, give me some head, right? And then the fisto jokes with the fist, and then the one joke when Skeletor is pretty much going through Adam's memories. He's like, yeah, your whatever, your sword dangling between your big thighs. I was like, ooh, that was kind of weird. It was a lot of weird jokes. Some jokes hit. The other jokes, too many jokes didn't hit. But Skeletor, hilarious. I mean, listen, Skeletor was, and I could see where they're going to say toxic masculinity. Listen, Skeletor was beating Evil Lynn's ass. And I don't mean beat her ass, but I mean, he would choke her out. He was choking her, grabbing her by the arm. And, when he touches you, you get this black poison in wherever he touches you at. So, I mean, he's just yoking up Evil Lynn. He's like, don't test me, woman. And I mean, he's just talking bad to Evil Lynn, y'all. Like, talking bad to her. And when he choked her out, it just better work. I was like, oh my God, this is not going to end well. So first act was awesome. So then they send Adam through a portal to Earth because to protect him and the sword. He loses the sword on halfway through the portal to Earth. Okay, so then Adam's on Earth. He works in human resources. So there's this whole theme of human resources, connecting, empathy, talking with people. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see things from the other side. You know how human resources would talk to you. Team dynamics, right? Sensitivity training, whatever. So he ends up he has a roommate. The roommate watches all these rom-coms. He ends up eventually finding a sword. The scene in the comic shop was kind of funny. He's trying to get the sword out of the Tarek character. And he does all this. He steals the sword, and the girl's like, are you single? As he runs out with the sword, he gets arrested. Midway through the arrest, Beastman shows up. Beastman looked good. Beastman was scary. Beastman was strong. Tila shows up to save Adam from Beastman. Listen, every scene Skeletor is in, I mean, Jared Leto steals this movie. He is this movie. Idris Elba, very good as Duncan, Man-at-Arms, but I hate how they halfway, basically after the first act, he's a drunkard, right? He's the drunken dad. He's Tila's dad, and for a good part of that second half, he's just a bumbling drunk. I didn't like that part, but. And then the names. The only reason they even got their names is because Adam had his own little names for all of the characters in his own mind. And when he's telling these people, this is how I see you. This is your name. This is your name. They were like, what? What kind of name is that? This and snap, blah, 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 blah. So, second half, he transforms. The first transformation was pretty good. Dolph Lundgren makes a guest appearance when they were in the gym. He goes to the gym for the first time. It's this weird back and forth. Like, how do I, as a newcomer, I get what they were saying. Like, as a newcomer, how should he, move forward with the role or whatever? And Dolph is like, yeah. Just put it in front of you. Everything else is a facade. He's like, what? What does that mean? Can you run that back again? He's like, no, go in peace or something like that. And he walks off. Weird. A weird cameo. Of all things to have Dolph as in the cameos, some Jim Bro, that was wasted. So this is basically a hero's journey, self-discovery, reconnection. And then third act, they bust out. So Skeletor ends up with the sword, and he locks all the heroes up. His dad, King Randall, ends up dying because during the first fight, Adam knocks a column loose, and the ceiling falls on top of his father, and they have a little heart to heart before he dies. And he ends up getting captured, thrown in prison, whatever, with all the rest of the heroes of Eternia, including his mother, because he thought they were both dead, blah, 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 blah. And Skeletor's like, if you want to see your parents alive, come bring me the sword, blah, 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 blah. That's how he ends up at Snake Castle. Snake Castle looked good. They find a way to break out of the jail. Oh, the first interaction between He-Man and Skeletor was weird because they spent way too much time on He-Man fighting... was it Trapjaw? For like 15 minutes. And they escape, and all of a sudden here comes Skeletor. I'm like, so where was Skeletor this whole time when He-Man and Trapjaw were fighting for 15 minutes? Literally for 15 minutes. Here comes Evil Lyn and Skeletor after they escape. I'm like, what the hell? Anywho, third act, they're at Snake Mountain. Oh my gosh, wow. Where do I begin? Skeletor, puts the beats on him. He cracks the sword. He breaks the sword of power. Stabs him, and then, or before that, Skeletor's like, I want to see who you really are, and he goes into his mind and all his memories and stuff. And I love the transition when it goes. So he goes into Adam's mind and his past memories, and how they made these transitions was so dope. Every time his head slammed into a wall or a table, the sound was so loud. It was so jarring. It was almost a distraction. Every time a new scene and he grabbed his head and dragged him and hit him on the wall or the tape, it was so fucking loud. The sound engineer deserves a raise. That shit was beating. So the first memory is him in the room with his roommate, and then Skeletor shows up and drags him into the next scene, or his next memory. He's at work, and then here comes Skeletor in the business casual, and the HR lady's like, who is this demon? And he's like, what is this? And it's called Human Resources. Human Resources? Hilarious. And he grabs him and drags him out again, and they go to the dinner date that he had with the girl, and then here comes Skeletor in this fucking tux with the hoodie, and he picks him by the head and drags him across the floor. That shit was so loud, and that was such a cool ass transition of Skeletor going through Adam's past memories. So then he ends up breaking the story. He stabs him in the chest, literally stabs Adam in the chest with the broken sword. So in between purgatory, somewhere in that purgatory before he transitions, he's like, am I dead? And here comes the sorceress. She's like, no, you're not really dead. I mean, you can be if you want to. And it's this whole existential conversation. And he was like, well, the sword, I don't have the sword. Or say the words, the power of Grayskull. I have the power. That's right, you have the power. So he realizes he's the vessel, not so much the sword. So then he comes out of it and pulls the sword out of his fucking chest, and the sword reforms, and he transforms again for the second time, and they go at it. And then listen, and so when at first He-Man tries to talk to him using human resources techniques, and he's like, I don't want to hear no human resources techniques. So he's like, you don't even know how to wield the power. You don't even know how to wield it, whatever. And he's like, I do know how to wield it. And his eyes light up. He's like, oh shit, here we go. And he's like, I just don't like using it. So he commenced to beating Skeletor's ass. I mean, the slow-mo shots of him, the fist in his hitting his face like, he hit him with a 4-5-6 combo to the body, and with an uppercut with the right hook, beating his ass. And them punches are so hard and so heavy. I mean, and then there's the slow-mo shots of every I was like, okay. So he beats his ass. He breaks his ram staff of ram, and then it pretty much kills Skeletor. All you see is a skull. Evil Lyn runs away, and Listen, hey man, hey, I liked it. I get why everybody's upset. It's campy, and I think it was supposed to be campy. What I'm hearing is people wanted it to be like a Conan version of He-Man. You know, real gritty and surreal, and just like a Conan version of He-Man. And I'm like, is that the right approach? Because the cartoon was campy. Even the original movie with Dolph Lundgren was campy. It's like a 1960s Batman. It's like, does not take this thing too serious. And once again, Skeletor, every time he's on stage, on screen, he steals this fucking movie, man. And when he's like cracking the jokes, and he's like, "That's my crescendo," and everyone's like, huh? Oh. He's like, "That's when it's supposed to." You guys don't get it. That's my crescendo. It was so damn funny. And so getting back to the end of the movie. So 6 months later, you know, everybody's whatever, Eternia's back, whatever, and you know, Prince Adam is Prince Adam, but he's got the Prince of Adam attire now. Cringer is no punk in this movie. Cringer, even without the battle armor, is whooping ass. Cringer is about to eat Beast Man. Listen, Cringer, whatever you thought about Cringer from the TV show, no, this Cringer is no punk. He just don't want to be bothered. So when they, when they go to Snake Mountain, you know, Adam's like, "Come on, Cringer." He's like, "Man, do I have to?" It's like, "Yeah." So they him and Tila ride him into Snake Mountain. So he goes at it with Beast Man. And there's a part in the movie when He-Man pretty much kills Skeletor. You see all these cut scenes of where everybody's at the moment Skeletor dies, and Cringer has literally his jaws on the head of Beast Man, like he's about to eat this motherfucker's face off. Okay, so then we get to the first post-credit scene. Orko does like a PSA. You know how they did the PSAs at the end of the movie, at the end of the TV episodes of the TV show, just like G.I. Joe and the Thundercats, Silverhawks, and He-Man. They'd be like, "Hey, this is the lesson learned today, PSA." And so Orko was like, "Hey, PSA today. You know, sometimes muscles doesn't mean everything, and sometimes if your face is a skeleton, that means you're the bad guy." So Orko shows up for the first post-credit. Second post-credit scene is, so you have the Queen talking with Duncan, man of arm, Idris Elba, and she's like, "I hope one day to find her, Adora," and he's like, "I'm sure she'll turn up," because remember, Adam and She-Ra, or Adora, they were twins, separated. So then we cut to Hordak, his planet, and you see She-Ra facing Hordak's castle. And because remember, She-Ra used to work for Hordak. She was his captain, Force captain. So this guy addresses her and says, "Hey, Force Captain Adora, are you ready?" And she's like, "No, I'm no longer Force captain." So that's when she rebels against Hordak, and she has her own power sword, and you kind of hear tinges of the She-Ra theme playing. Okay, so after all the credits, the last post-credit scene is you see Evil Lyn carrying Skeletor's skull, and she's laughing. So he'll be back. This movie's going to bomb so bad. And I hate that. For this thing should end up a cult classic. Would it work for IMAX? Sure. I wouldn't spend the money to see this in IMAX. The IMAX for this movie only works with the first act, the battle scene, parts of the third act. But that's not enough to justify going to spend extra money to see this thing in IMAX. I mean, it's going to look good for this movie was 2.5 hours long. It's only going to look good for about 30 minutes on IMAX. 30 minutes is all you got. I mean, the special effects, I couldn't justify spending the money to see this thing in IMAX. But this movie's going to bomb hard at the theaters. I think it's tracking between $30 to $40 million, if that. This thing should live long on PVOD. This thing should have enough camp in it to be a cult classic. Once again, this thing gave me Flash Gordon vibes. The theme song, you know how in Flash Gordon, the theme song kept playing throughout the movie, but it played in different ways. Sometimes it'd be really soft or a soft orchestral or some piano notes or this and this and that. Same thing here. The theme kept playing over and over throughout the movie, but it was just in different forms, musical forms. And like I said, you know those electric guitars. That's classic Brian May. So every time that his shit was playing, it's like, okay, here we go, let's go. I think this thing should be a cult classic. I think 10 years from now, when everybody's no longer upset at this movie, I think people are mad at this movie for the wrong reasons. For those that wanted a grittier Conan-esque version, I get it, but that's not ever what He-Man was. And I'm basing this thing off the cartoons. Now, if you're one of those comic heads, well, that wasn't how it was in the IDW comics. Nigga, this ain't off the comics. Shout out to Travis Knight is a competent director. It's the same Travis Knight that gave you Bumblebee. No one complained about that first act in Bumblebee when they was on Cybertron. So when it comes to sci-fi and fantasy, Travis Knight's your guy. You know what I'm saying? If Travis Knight was allowed to do a Transformers film just strictly on Cybertron using G1 Transformers, he would kill it. All right? Same thing here. If the focus was strictly Eternia and just Eternia-based adventures and shenanigans and leave the human shit alone, it would have killed this movie. But Jared Leto is the star of this movie. Bar none. Jared Leto does not deserve no hate. He does not deserve people's ire. He does not deserve the vitriol. He's too good of an actor. Y'all gonna need to cut Jared Leto some slack. He killed it as Skeletor. I could watch a whole damn movie, just him, just talking. Listen, him using his Skeletor voice, just narrating, reading a book. I'm here for it. I would listen to an audiobook of Jared Leto playing Skeletor, using that old English drawl. I'm here for it. So, this thing's gonna bomb hard, man. Where we at with it? Let's take a look. This thing is bombing hard. It doesn't deserve the hate. I think too many people are just mad for just mad to be mad. But the jokes were too much college frat humor jokes. But when the jokes were funny, they were funny. And then, like I said, a lot of people are not going to be happy with how Skeletor treats Evil Lynn. Like he is the man, and he reminds her of her place. And I don't think a lot of people are going to like that aspect of Skeletor. I'm here for it, man. Now, the chick that plays Evil Lynn, she's trash. No one's going to top Meg Foster as Evil Lynn. But let me look at Masters tracking real quick, and then I'm gonna get out of here because I have to go to work in the morning. I'm tired, and I had softball practice today. I took a ground ball to my forearm. I got a wep on this. I'm rusty. I'm sore, but I'm still, I can still swing a ball, swing a bat, and I can throw a ball. So tracking. It's bad. This thing is gonna be dead in the water in less than 2 weeks. It's looking bad. It's looking bad. Once again, this thing should have a long, healthy life on streaming. It should become a cult classic just based off that alone. Let's see where we at. Scary Movie is gonna come in higher than average. Scary Movie is gonna have a nice big opening. Yeah, it's looking bad for Masters of the Universe. I think a lot of people, I think they should have just called it He-Man and not Masters of the Universe, because remember the cartoon was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. You should have just gone with the He-Man. Should have just gone with the He-Man. Oh, this thing's gonna flop. Oh, look at this. It's on. It's 27 to 35 million. U.S. This thing cost $170 million to make. Do you understand? This thing cost $170 million to make. This thing's not going to make no money. Now, what if they greenlight a sequel? What I would like to see is cut back on that budget. Cut back on that budget and try to get in theaters, or just dump it straight to streaming. I wouldn't like for them to do that, but gotta cut back on that budget, man. This is too much for a movie that their hardcore fan base is pushing 50. We're pushing 50. Okay, for those of us that grew up with this cartoon in the movies, we're pushing 50. Gen Z is like, what is this? Okay, in my theater, literally is like maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe less than 10 people, and we're all clearly in our 40s and 50s. There was one young kid in a wheelchair, but the people that took him were in their 50s. Okay, so I hate this for them. And, you know, once again, Jared Leto is the saving grace. He killed it in this movie. Give me a Skeletor origin story with just him and build around him, you know. Nah, man, listen. Nah, I like Frank, but nah, Jared Leto killed this shit. No, sir. No, sir. No. Jared Leto killed it. No, he does not. No, he does not. What movies did he ruin? Please don't say Tron Ares, because Tron Ares was dope. So give me the movie that Jared Leto ruins. Please give me the movie that Jared Leto ruins. He's one of the best method actors of any generation. He killed this role as Skeletor. You forgot it's Jared Leto. Clearly, is a guy clearly he's in a muscle suit, but the skeleton face and then the red eyes. Oh my God! Like you forget that's Jared Leto. I forgot. I mean, he has that old English cadence down pat. You forget it's him. So no, I'm going to stand for Jared Leto. He gets a lot of unfair hate. He gets a lot of unfair hate. Okay, Morbius was a bad movie because that's a bad movie. That's not Jared Leto's fault. If Tron Ares is a bad movie, it's a bad movie because that's not Jared Leto's fault. How's that his fault? Yeah, you tried it. Tron Ares is dope. Morbius is a bad movie. A great actor cannot save a bad movie. That's a bad movie. And the Joker in Suicide Squad, he killed it. What are you talking about? Matter of fact, we still wait on the Ayer cut. Come on, man. Run that back again, bro. Try again. Try that shit somewhere else. Not gonna work here. No. You trying to tell me about a movie that I watched as a kid, and I'm telling you what I just saw today. Yeah, better than Frank Langella. They're both campy, but Jared's version is more towards the cartoon that I grew up with. And they all had at the end of the movie, they all do that crazy ass laugh when they're just all ha 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 ha. They all laugh and throw their heads back. They all do that laugh, and then Cringe is looking like, what is this? It was funny as hell. That was funny. But yo, Jared killed it as Skeletor. Sorry, take it to somewhere else. Go to another movie review channel and y'all can bash on Jared Leto all day long. I'm not gonna bash Jared Leto. He killed it. He saved this. He's the saving grace of this movie. No one's talking bad about Jared Leto's performance. No one's trashing his performance in this movie. Nobody. He killed this role. Sorry. So, all right, that's all I got. Like I said, 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm on. That's good enough. But this movie's gonna bomb hard, and I feel bad for everybody involved with this movie because it was decent. I enjoyed it. It gave me nostalgia, a lot of flashbacks to the original cartoon. But there are some flaws in this. It's not nowhere near perfect, but this is probably, I thought it was one of the better campy movies. I think this movie, it's campy. Once again, if you want blood and guts, the Conan version of He-Man, you're not gonna get that. And he never was that. It was never blood and guts. Okay, it was camp. All right, so that's all I got. No, it is definitely master subordinate. It is not. No, there's no love. Like even with the original movie with Dolph Lundgren, you caught glimpses of Skeletor and Evelyn had a thing, may have had a thing. In this movie, she works for him. He is the man, and he's like, "Bitch, you better do what I say." And when, like I said, when he grabs her up and he choked her, he's, "It better work." I was like, "Oh, they're not gonna like this. They don't like seeing men, you know, strangle women." Just saying. He's a bad guy, and then there's this, and then when the last confrontation, because He-Man's trying to talk to him using human resources. He's like, "I don't want to talk." He says, he goes on this crazy ass soliloquy, and he's like, "Because I'm a villain." I was like, "Ooh, I felt that." Yeah, he's like, "I don't want to talk. There's nothing to unpack here. No, because I'm a villain." I was like, yes. He doesn't need a rhyme or reason. He's a villain. Killed this role. Fuck out of here. Frank Langella, who? Sorry, man. But I'm. Hey, listen. I want this thing to do well. It's not gonna do well. It's gonna get murdered. This week, next week, 2 weeks from now. This thing will be out of theaters by the end of June. Let me see. What is this? What June is this? This thing will be on VOD by the end of June. Yeah, this is going to be on streaming before June is out, or right at the end of June. That's how bad it's going to get its ass kicked. That's how bad it's getting its ass kicked now. I believe next week is Scary Movie 6, Supergirl, and then the following weekend, Toy Story 5. Oh, what? And then after that, you got Moana. What? Listen, Supergirl is going to flop hard. Masters of the Universe is flopping hard. And yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, all right, I'm out of here, y'all. I got to catch some sleep and take a shower and soak my old bones. So, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.
Catch me live and take off the sleeves.